Hey everybody, Aaron Rift here from NoDQ.com, and I am being joined by, of all people, the former host of Talk Wrestling, good old JM Jeff Meacham.
Yeah, this is the first time I think I've taped at this place.
Hell has officially frozen over.
Nah, that's not true because Mike's not here.
Exactly. But the two of us on camera doing a proper review video for the very first time. So this is...
Yeah, because last night was a little bit too
yeah, that was
chaotic.
a little bit too crazy. So this is something significant. I figured we would do a proper review of SummerSlam. I was there at Staples Center in person. Jeff was watching it at home. Or not at home, you were at Hooters.
I was upstairs by myself at Hooters, had to lay the land because they just wanted to be left alone.
But he was watching the live stream and I was watching it in person, so...
We were on site, put it that way.
Right, so two different perspectives.
Yes.
Let's start off with the pre-show match, RVD versus Dean Ambrose. I thought it was a very solid pre-show match. I didn't like the finish. I thought it was, cheap, the usual DQ.
Well, but do you think at this point that they're not ready to have Rob be a champion again, or is it just trying to keep the belt on the Shield still?
Yeah, I think that they wanted to keep the belt on Dean Ambrose and not have RVD lose a match, but I think it would have been better if Dean went over. I just think it would have made him look better.
Well, and somebody pointed this out, I forget who, I've been up all night, so I don't remember who the hell posted this during the course of the last 8 hours, but somebody posted that, Rob filled the veteran status properly. He made the guy, he made Dean look fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, he did. And
yeah, he got the win by DQ, so Dean keeps the title, but both of them came out ahead at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very entertaining match. It should have been on the main pay-per-view.
Well, yeah, when you put... I said this during the course of the night, when Rob Van Dam is your pre-show match and Dolph Ziggler is your weakest match on the card, you've got a good solid card.
Exactly.
So it went very well, I thought.
All right, let's start off with the actual pay-per-view card with the opening match, the Ring of Fire, Kane versus Bray Wyatt. It was, I liked seeing the Fire in person. I thought that was cool, but the match itself I thought was just okay. And I really liked Bray Wyatt's entrance. I thought that, it was really cool, and the crowd was clapping along to the music. I mean, they really liked it. And,
they actually picked up on the audio on the stream, too. You could hear the crowd in the stage.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, these are the bad guys, right?
Yeah,
they're clapping along.
This LA crowd was definitely one of those crowds that likes to cheer the bad guys.
Hey, you know what? LA's always been that way. We've always been a very pro-heel state.
Yeah.
Especially SoCal.
Yeah, so I mean, the match itself I thought was okay. Once again, I didn't like the finish. I felt, what was the point of doing a Ring of Fire match if you're just going to have the guys interfere anyways?
Well, I disagree with you, because I think the way they accomplished that was Luke and Rowan?
Yeah, I think so.
Had to figure out a way to overcome the fire barrier.
Yeah.
And they oh, fuck it, put a blanket on it, and they made it happen. They had to find a way to have Bray get the heel win, because they're not going to have Bray beat Kane clean, because that's just bullshit. It's not going to happen yet. So for them to get involved, they had to figure out something, and it took them the entire match. But they figured out, okay, if we put a blanket on it, they'll smother the fire, and they go. And Kane still fought him off for a good, 5 or 6 minutes. Less than that, I take that back in some consideration. But I think it told a good story. It may have been a cheap finish to get the heels over, but them dragging Kane off into who knows what next is a good way to keep the story.
Right. All right, let's move on to Damien Sandow versus Cody Rhodes. I thought it was an okay match. It felt like another SmackDown match. Didn't really have anything special to it. What did you think?
I have a particular problem with the way this match went down. I'll tell you why. Cody Rhodes had lost the Money in the Bank match. Damien Sandow won that match. Yeah, he did it a cheap way. He turned on his best friend. That's a heel. Fucking it over, seriously. But Damien's been Cody's bitch since.
Yeah.
He's completely been his bitch at every turn on SmackDown. The only way to save the Money in the Bank guy at this point would have had to have had him beat Cody. And he didn't do it. And now what they're putting over, I don't know if you watched the post-show interviews on WWE.com or not.
No.
They're putting over the fact that Cody's mustache is gone.
Yeah, what's
up
with that?
And they're saving the reveal for why until the JBL and Cole show on Friday. They taped something over Access Weekend with Cody's mustache that they're going to have a big reveal on the YouTube channel. Who the fuck cares about the JBL and Cole show? Just tell us.
Yeah.
It's like, if they wanted to have Cody be the over guy, put the fucking briefcase on him.
Exactly. And moving on, we had the first of 2 Divas matches.
Which surprised me in and of itself.
It was basically to help promote the Total Divas. Nothing to it. Complete throwaway match. Let's move on to
you want to say something? I won't say throwaway because as horrible as Brie Bella has been in the past, her and Natty both did a pretty good match. For the live crowd, I'm sure it came off as, oh, yep, bathroom break. But for the crowd at home watching on pay-per-view on the stream, huge for it. I'm sure. It always is for the Divas. But watching it at home, Natty delivered a great match, and even Brie picked up her slack, too. They both did really well.
Jeff had something positive to say, so there you go. All right, moving on, the World Heavyweight title match, Christian versus Alberto Del Rio. I thought it was a very solid pay-per-view match, very good. My problem was that they already did that match on SmackDown a couple weeks ago. So besides that, I thought it was fine. I liked the clean finish. I liked the fact that Del Rio got the clean win on him.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Del Rio was ready to go with that fight they had over the weekend. But
yeah. Some people in my area were chanting boring at him.
Well, it wasn't the greatest match. It was an okay match, like you said. I feel that they told a good story with Christian being hurt and him instinctively going for the spear and then getting hurt. Now Alberto going, aha, and catching him with the arm breaker. I feel that if this is Christian's last hurrah, then either last night or going into the next pay-per-view, he should win the title one more time, just to give him that one more run. But if it is it for him, then God bless him on a great career, whatever. All
right, so let's talk about one of the big matches of the night, CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. This was an incredible match. I have to say, like a minute in, Brock Lesnar picked up CM Punk and he literally tossed him all the way to the other side of the ring, from one end to the other. And at that moment, I knew that this was going to be a tremendous match. I thought that was awesome. Brock was just being a beast.
Yeah, for everything that he failed to do in Vegas when he saw him fight,
exactly.
He delivered last night.
I didn't have to see a 30-second fight.
Exactly.
I actually got to see Brock go in there and just beat the living hell out of CM Punk. And these two worked really well together. Much better than Triple H
and Brock. Loads better than John and Brock. Because John and Brock at the end of the day was fucking 25 minutes of Brock whooping his ass and then 5 moves to doom. That was
definitely the best Brock Lesnar match
since his return.
And at the top of his best WWE matches, period.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, when you think of Brock's WWE matches, you think of The Rock.
Yeah.
You think of Angle, of course. And then you think of Punk.
Yeah, honestly, this was right up there at the top.
And he's how many years out of his prime now? Seriously.
Yeah, CM Punk delivers another match of the year candidate. I mean, he's on a roll this year.
And Paul Heyman, for as old as he is and out of his prime of his career as he is, he fucking delivered too. He was getting physical, he was getting involved, he was getting his ass handed to him, and he did great too.
Yeah, so. I love the finish. I mean, yes, Paul Heyman got involved, but I mean, that's the whole story, that Punk did get his hands on Paul Heyman, but ultimately that cost him. There was a price for getting to beat up Paul Heyman.
I'm not sure how it came off in the Staples Center, but that F5 on that chair was loud.
Yeah,
and
it was.
Brutal. It was fucking brutal. I cringed when I heard it.
And there was something like 3 or 4 "This is awesome" chants, and both guys got a standing ovation when they left the ring. So I mean, excellent match. And then you had the mixed tag team match: Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn versus Big E, Langston, and AJ.
And like I said, that was the weakest match of the night, I thought.
And I thought it was an okay match. I mean, it was obviously a filler match between the two big matches, but right. I mean, for what it was a good match.
And I get the need to have a cool down match between main events like had WrestleMania 18 or whatever WrestleMania 18 with Rock and Hogan and Triple H and Jericho. But to like I said, to have Dolph be one of your weakest matches is something a good night.
That was one of the better, cooler matches.
Cool down matches. Yeah.
All right, so now we have the main event. This belt right here. This is my friend's belt, who's filming right now. John Cena defending against Daniel Bryan. Everyone was. I mean, the crowd was so loud for this match. They were chanting constantly. Normally in most matches with John Cena against somebody who the crowd might cheer for, they usually just chant like "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." But in this match, they were chanting Daniel Bryan, Cena sucks. There was like no positive Cena chants and a lot of pro Daniel Bryan chants. The yeses, "Let's go Daniel."
Which is so funny because John had one of his better matches.
Yeah, I mean,
he actually didn't do that bad last night.
He did. They were both on the steel steps and. Cena suplexed Bryan onto the floor, and the crowd, popped for it. But then they chanted, "You still suck."
Yes. every time he gets a good move off against, like, I mean, I remember when he wrestled Rob at One Night Stand, he did this ridiculously good move, and you still suck. It's like he can't fucking win.
Yeah.
He just can't win.
Real quick, I wanted to mention because I was thinking about the steel steps with the Wyatts and Kane when they did that guillotine with the steel steps.
That was nasty.
It looked so bad. It looked like the steps didn't even touch Kane at all. I mean, it just looked really bad. But yeah, moving on. Bryan and Cena had a tremendous match, and the fans got what they wanted. You know, the fans always complain they wanted Daniel Bryan to beat John Cena, and not only did he beat John Cena, but he did it clean in the middle of the ring.
With a knee to the face, it looked like he. I heard that Cena has an injury to his eye.
Yeah, here's the thing about that. I did not see that. That was a kind of an interesting finish.
Look at your phone, you fucker.
Yeah, like, people, and I think there was a delayed reaction because when it happened, like the people didn't react, and like a second later, like, oh my God, Cena just lost, and then everybody started cheering.
That was the first time he's lost clean since WrestleMania.
So I mean, that was definitely an interesting finish because it really did come out of nowhere.
Yeah, and of course, what didn't come out of nowhere was after.
Yeah, so the big angle, which I thought was extremely well done. You know, a lot of people were predicting a Triple H heel turn, but here's the thing. Randy Orton came out. He came out. Oh, here's the thing. That's right. Randy Orton came out with the briefcase, and he teased like he was going to cash it in, but then he started backing away, and I loved it because it was like the start of the heel turn with Randy Orton backing away, the crowd booing him. And here's the thing. Everybody's eyes were on Randy Orton. Everybody was paying attention to Randy Orton. So when Triple H turned Daniel Bryan around and did the pedigree, everyone's like, oh my God. Like, it was a huge shock because everyone was distracted. They were focusing on Orton, and they weren't thinking about, you know, Triple H doing something. So when that happened, I mean, it was perfect timing, and how they did it was extremely well done.
I will be really honest, total disclosure right now with y'all around the world, okay? Seriously. I'm sitting in the booth at Hooters watching the fallout between Orton and Bryan, not expecting Triple H to do anything. I literally was shaking. I was so upset with Triple H. I was fuming. I was so mad at him
because they did this whole big celebration with the confetti and the fireworks.
And he was going, yes.
You're so happy for Daniel Bryan, and then these guys just screw him over.
Now, my question is: you and I talked about Evolution reforming. If Flair's in hot water, like you're talking about, I saw on the site, and Batista is whatever the fuck Batista is. Do they go the Evolution angle, or do you go with Orton being the corporate pit champion?
Well, what I wouldn't mind seeing is a new Evolution with, you know, Triple H as the past, like the Ric Flair type role, and then you have Randy Orton as the current, which is what Triple H used to be,
right.
And then maybe bring in one or two other guys, maybe from NXT, and have them the new proteges.
If you want, there's a plethora of guys in Florida. Seriously, I mean, we had Bo Dallas up. You know, we gave him a cup of coffee and do shit with him. He's second generation. You got him. You've got, you know, there's so many guys to pick from. They have the greatest development system they've ever had at that company.
Yeah.
And
so there's
a lot of anybody.
There's a lot of different ways.
If they want to do that, I mean, because you know, you and I talked last night bringing Batista back. There's no point. He's the past.
Yeah.
There's no point in bringing him back.
Yeah. If they're gonna do Evolution, they should do something different.
Yeah. Orton is still hot. He's obviously a fucking champion. So if they're gonna have Orton Triple H be an Evolution thing, they need to get two guys from NXT.
Yeah. So overall, you know, especially on the strength of the two main event matches, I thought that this was easily the best SummerSlam in LA, and in my opinion, the best one since 2002. I thought it was a really good show.
Yeah, I can't think of a particularly standout moment at a SummerSlam since 2002, except for Orton beating that guy we can't talk about.
Yeah, he found the belt in the middle of the ring.
He found the belt. That's right. Great meme on Facebook. Goddamn.
So that'll wrap it up for our SummerSlam thoughts.
Yes.
And you know, it's really busy for me. I'm gonna be at Raw tonight, so the chaos just keeps going on.
God bless you. I'm gonna be home watching on TV.
So stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest, and let us know what you thought about SummerSlam. Leave your thoughts on YouTube, and see you next time for more.